Everyone, I hope you're well. Hope you had an awesome week. Yeah, fun at the games on the weekend. I just wanted to go through a session plan for week 4. Now, I know that the older age groups that I work with, different coaches are working on different aspects, and some I come up with different session plans. But I thought it would be great to just go through a normal U14 defending session plan, U13 defending session plan, so we can do one more defending if I'm not able to do session plans for each group, so we can finish the defending part of this season, and then after Columbus Day weekend we can focus on more offense. So I'll just quickly go through what it looks like so that we can get set up and ready for this week's theme. So, as I say, this one's defending. It's improved preventing the opponent from building up and creating scoring chances in our own half. So the first bit we'll do static and dynamic stretching. So as soon as as soon as your players are there, if you can get them doing the static stretches, I would love to be able to get to doing muscle activation with the tennis balls. So if you are able this week to tell your kids to all bring a tennis ball, we could go through that. Especially if we're in the gym and we can do muscle activation. So we should really at this age now be doing muscle activation with foam rollers or tennis balls. And then at the end of our practice, we should be doing static stretches to ease the muscles and cool down. That's the new sort of way of warming up and cooling down now. So that's the first phase of static and dynamic. Maybe I'll come up with a game, which is a bit more of an English version of a session. So this week we're doing like NFL End Zone. So that might be a great idea that we can do that. But let's just do the practice phase in this. So we are going to work, if we are not in the gym, we're on Lennox Field this week, then we can work on having the session plan set up like we are, which is let's work on, we've not done this one yet, so there's 4 goals, and we can work on 6v6 so that there's both aspects of defending. Let's do the resets from the large goal size of the side of the field, and the Blues are just scoring in the other 2 goals, Reds are scoring if they regain possession in the other 2 goals. We could possibly work in zones like we did the past couple of weeks, sort of a large version of breaking lines, but more than willing to obviously adapt this. So the first part, 6v6, less challenging. If you want to start with that, which is 6v5, you can do, but I think we're all good with 6v6. In fact, you probably start with that and then move quickly into the more challenging, which is 8v7, into a big goal and then 3 goals at the other end. This new way of teaching kids to play soccer and most sports now, we try not to do joystick coaching, which is very directional and very sort of telling players to move left, move right, shoot, finish, pass. What we try and do is we try and coach them with guided discovery and asking them open questions about what it looks like. You know, we now do a lot of the stop and freeze. Tell me what's wrong with this picture. Show me what a better picture looks like. But we can also do individual interventions as well, where you just have a chat with the player. You've seen me do it a couple of times where I just bring a player over, just have a little chat if they're being disengaged or disruptive. So just try and re-engage them with little chats. Some players prefer individual objectives than group, but I think they're all pretty used to the group interventions now. I would suggest that we continue to reaffirm the respect values that we've brought in, so that each week you have a chat with them about respect. We respect them as players, they respect you as coach, so when we are talking they can listen, because we're trying to just help them develop. If they are being disruptive, then you've seen me do a group management behaviour sort of skill, where it is that we sit them out for 2 to 5 minutes But this is a great option to use, and you've got to continually use it and be consistent in your approach. If you sit them out, you must make sure that you have a chat with them when you bring them back in. You know, we don't do laps, push-ups, press-ups anymore. Exercise shouldn't be a punishment if you treat them with respect, like humans, human to human, that you can just have a chat with them. It tends to work quite well, but be consistent in your approach. If they continue to be disruptive, then just sit them out a little bit longer in the scrimmage at the end. But yeah, again, you may explain to them before you re-engage them back in the practice. So this is the defending session this week. Any questions, drop me a line or drop me a message. You've got all my details, and I look forward to working through our last week of the defensive phase of play. Have an awesome week, everyone, and I'll see you on the field.